welcome to the regular meeting of Five Rivers for January 14th. You've seen the agenda in your package. I'd like to make one addition, and that is at new business at the end. We're going to add G, which is the website. We're going to talk about our website.
Blackout.
Yeah. Somebody would like to move the approval of the agenda with amendments.
So moved.
Billy and Katie. Questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against nay. Motion carried. Are there any disclosures of conflict of interest? None. We're moving right into number 4, public presentations. Mr. Randy Warman from Warman's Welding will make a presentation related to land use development.
Thanks for having us here, for having myself here tonight, Mayor and Council. We'll keep it short and sweet. If you could pass these out, please, Mike. Right. Okay, so I'm Warman's Welding in Rexton. We are looking at a new venture in the industrial park. This venture is going to cover about between 8 to 9 acres roughly, but of course take it off for whatever you guys put the road if at that time comes. It is industrial supply. So industrial supply, we own part of a construction company, so we're looking at landscaping, supply, pipe, sewer, culverts, along with all the plastic pipes and everything like that that goes in with it, and electrical and plumbing retail. Something the same idea as what GLKC used to be, but we're going at it with a larger scale on that. And as well, will be full hardware inside as well, whatever. Kind of based on like the retail, of course, will be open to the public, and then we're going to have a contractor side where we're based on, we're going to buy from the Yeti Group and so on and so forth. They're working on those things now. Timeline is, if we'd like to buy the property this year, we would clear it next year. Full blockout fence around the entire property, and the first building the year after is the scheduled plan. Because we're going to start off with like a smaller building so we can service the contractors, and then a retail space. But that will be in the 3rd year, that time of year. Something like that. Realistically. This summer we're just not going to have enough time.
No.
Yeah. It's all going to be blackout fence for security wise, so there will be nothing unsightly. We're not going to see what's inside. We'll have gates that will be open and closed daily, just for safety reasons. Because if not, they'll push out. And that is the plan. Along with that, we're going to have aggregates. We're going to have topsoil. We're going to have. That's what we're going to be at the back of the lot with. Anything that they have, we're going to. Any questions? Yes,
You said the first building. So is that the one that would be here or no?
It would be back a little bit. The forward building would be the full retail store. The first building, which would be geared more towards, it'd be a smaller unit where we're just dealing with more contractors, will be in behind, and then the first building would be the retail store at the end.
Phase 3.
Stage 3, yep. We're gonna get in, we're getting a lot of call for that. We do a lot of different things already, and it'll be like more of our industrial processes will be over there. We already do hydraulics, we do supplies, we already do pumps, we already do, but that would be that would be, I wouldn't want to, I just don't, like, maybe the retail part, because the retail part would be designed by an engineer and have like you know, a better face, or more or less, presentation, but, you know, we want to get this up to start selling as much as we can to start, and then go from there. Yes, Bill?
You said it would be something like GL Casey's. My
Right.
question is, would you be having paint? Because Casey's always had
Whatever,
more. And
like, I'm like,
Nobody
really,
has it now.
the paint right now would be, like, see what would happen as far as all the products going out. The first off would be the plumbing, electrical,
Sure.
landscape, construction. Paints, like, you know, you do have Home Hardware that has paint and multi-decor. We're not really looking into
to
that
that part. Okay.
market because it's just.
But they had Benjamin Moore, right?
Yeah.
Really like Benjamin
Oh,
Moore.
yeah. Yeah, like, it's hard to say what would be, but that wouldn't be our primary focus.
Okay, just asking.
Yeah,
Karen?
Karen,
What road is that?
that goes to the windmill. That's Enterprise Street.
Okay. Perfect.
Any other questions?
Fire away. If you wanna know, this is the time to ask.
So how many lots?
It's roughly between 8 to 10 acres, roughly. Depending on like how much space the road takes.
Okay.
See, like for us, the main reason, like we need the space, and the main reason that lot's attractive to us, we don't need the road. So if you don't ever put the road, it don't matter, I don't need the road. You know, we're gonna enter from that, front portion. Yeah, and then, so, but then of course, if you need the road, but like we're gonna have it all fenced off before. So if you do put the road, it's not gonna interfere with anything at all. And anything we need for whatever utilities or whatever, we can access through the front, whereas the back part will be our outdoor storage.
Yeah.
Okay, so, our CAO will, come up with a purchase and sale agreement and, present it to you, Randy, and then bring it back to council for approval.
That sounds good. Well, it's,
Exciting.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
awesome. I mean,
I do too.
Very happy.
even if it wasn't for, the population growth we have been seeing, like, we have so many, like, businesses in our region that are construction based, so.
Yeah.
It's awesome to continue to provide,
well, it's,
you're already doing it, basically.
yeah, we're already doing it on a small scale, and
Yeah.
like, my daughter and my son are both back with us, so,
Natural progression.
yeah,
It's your business.
It's called-
Just
grows there, yes, ma'am.
business in additional, you're not closing.
No, oh my God, no. Oh, sweet Jesus.
You're moving it all back there.
No, we own everything to St. Charles in the back.
Right.
Yeah, so no, see what our plan will be for Warman's is that, we'll be starting to transition. You know, probably still use the shops in the front, but Dawson's vision is out back, big out back. We're doing bigger products and and he'll get into more modern annexation. But those are gonna be his bills. It's the plan. But no disruption at home. If anything, it'll just be busier on two fronts.
More travel.
This end of it won't be for me so much. But, and that's why, realistically, that's why we have the 3-year process, just because we can only get so much done a day, and then we're still full tilt busy with the other, and employees are hard to get, and we've been very fortunate with the Philippine workers, but immigration's really tightened up, and that's not gonna happen anymore, or very, very seldom. We got one fella, the last 3 that came, 2 of them got rejected. Then we applied again, the visas went through, the 3rd one doesn't look like he's gonna make it. So, but anyways,
Okay, thank you, Randy.
thank you very much, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have yourselves a great day.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Thank you.
Say hi, everybody.
Excuse me.
Very good.
Okay, moving on to number 5 on the agenda.
We'll see you later, guys.
Keep your hair gray.
Thanks, Al. You take care, alright?
An emotion to approve the minutes of the prior meeting of December the 10th.
So moved.
Billy and Karen. Questions and comments?
Just a question for clarification.
Okay.
So on C, 2025 budgets, under the operating there to make payable a sum of 500, no, it's not there, to all members of the fire departments. Just to clarify, is that a gratuity it's not a taxable amount? Is it? Or
It's
how
made
is
out to the association and they distribute it,
it?
so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah, it's only probably when you're to confirm to be absolutely sure.
We talked about it during our budget meeting with them and that's how we do it.
And then they get cash and other checks.
yes, no, I just wanted to, yeah, okay. Thank you.
Any other comments on them? All those in favor of the minutes signify by saying aye. Aye. Those against nay. Motion carried. Number 6, business arising from the minutes. There was nothing new to report there. Not applicable. So we have correspondence. We received from the government of New Brunswick the announcement of the 2024 to 28 Canada Community Building Funds distribution. It's included in the package. There were concerns about the curbs and the sidewalks on Bonnerlaw Avenue. There's also a request for funds to upgrade the kitchen at the Rex and Lions Club. Also planning and building permit report from the Kent Regional Service Commission and the solid waste report from the Kent Regional Service Commission.
Is the CCBF, is that the old gas tax?
Yes, yeah.
Canada Community Building Fund. Yeah.
Canada Community Building Fund.
Yeah.
And the quick note on that is that we're due to receive $881,000 for that 5-year period.
Mm-hmm.
But what we don't have on file right now with the province is our 5-year plan. So the goal right now is to try and develop that next 4 weeks and hopefully have for council in the February meeting to be approved, which is a bit accelerated. It's not one of those things that carved in stone. If we submit it, we could always change it 6 months or a year later. But without a plan, they hold your payment, and the sooner we get the payment, the better.
So we're gonna get that plan done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other quick note is that one change they made this year, one of the couple changes, they changed the templates in the form, so there's a little more detail required than what there used to be. Not in a terribly bad way, but just that there is more. They've also made fire trucks eligible for CCBF funds for the first time. Public works vehicles and machines are still not, they're not eligible. But fire trucks actually are. So that's new in the program and maybe something that would be of use for us.
Real good news.
Scrolling for the pictures of curbs.
That is in the, I think we have that right in the agenda.
It's on the agenda in their new business.
Under item
Under new business, okay.
10F.
Okay, okay. So moving on.
Can I ask a question before we move on? The request for the funds to upgrade the kitchen, are we gonna get more than one quote on that?
Yes, there's actually, though, before we even get the quotes, we really need some sort of inspection because it's not just the kitchen. There's also, even though that's initially what came to the fore, there's power and there's water issues there as well. So in the interest of just knowing sort of the full range of things that are, potentially required there, we'll have to do that in the next couple weeks to get a couple tradesmen in to do that analysis.
Their water's not drinkable. That's all I know.
Mm-hmm.
Their concern with water, I think, is more on the pressure side than it is the ability or the drinkability of it. There's that concern too, but they kind of quickly go down to very low pressure under certain circumstances. So That's one of the issues, and it's
Oh.
very, without saying too much, there's a fairly old, system there on site that, there's been suspicions of this or that, whether there's a cave in or that it, so forth. So there needs to be some analysis to understand exactly what we're
Sure.
dealing with there. And just very briefly, the electrical system issues are that you have around the building, there's certain outlets that can't be used, or you can't plug two things into one outlet, that kind of thing, real basic stuff in terms of the capacity. So some of it may not, may be fine as is, but again, need an assessment to know kind of what the actual
Panel
limitations and issues are.
Be upgraded.
Yeah.
And we must remember that this is a warming station also now.
Mhm. Yeah, that is an important point.
Moving on to number 8 in the agenda, it says the mayor's report, and I see on yours, Natalie, it's reversed, mayor's and then business, so we'll do the mayor's report first, because it was in the package.
Yeah.
I did attend in December the public safety meeting, for the Kent Regional Service Commission, and all the partners are around, so the RCMP were there. And Elaine had a question about the RCMP Division quarterly report at last meeting, so I asked them about it, and if you remember, you get the little diagrams there. So it said 403 occurrences for 5 Rivers, but 81% of them were non-criminal. So non-criminal means 174 were traffic violations. And because of our proximity, I think, to the RCMP station, there's probably more here. If you compare us to
It's a crime.
what?
When we heard the meeting, it's a crime.
But if you read the
Non-criminal.
whole picture.
Yeah, so 19% is criminal and 81% is non-criminal. If you look at Beaurivage, 23% is criminal and 77 is non-criminal. In Beausoleil, 30% is criminal. 70, so like we're not too bad.
We're just
Um,
But
yeah.
the way it was worded last time, so.
Yeah.
maybe it's-
So it's nothing to be alarmed about, and they assured us that, yes, there's crime, but for this it's mostly non-criminal, yeah.
Was anything mentioned in that meeting about the signal for the radios?
Yes. I brought that up, and I'll have to wait for the minutes to bring that. Yes.
Okay.
Roger Petrie, the fire chief in Rogersville, he said the same thing, but Nick now, he said that they have really good service with the TMRs.
Apparently, the guy doing the TMR said there are issues with some towers, but they're gonna actually come up.
Well,
and
didn't they
check.
do that? Oh, because Mark had
Mark
said,
had sent them an email.
okay, and they haven't done that yet?
No.
Okay. All right, so anything else with my report, questions? Okay, now we're moving on to the departmental reports and the CAO report.
So I provided sort of my first report that I submitted to this council. What I was seeking to do is sort of provide an overview of the things that, as the time I wrote this, I was aware of that be worked on. So I won't go through each and every. If there's something that you would like me to speak to in more detail, the only thing I point out is what I mentioned earlier. It is there's a lot of things that are top of mind, but one of them is certainly trying to get our capital plan in place so we can get access to that funding and then move forward. Ordinarily, you would usually try to do a capital plan just before you do your operating plans, and so it's like a Q3 type of process, and it should be annual and involve all your departments, including fire, recreation, and so forth. So that's the report. Any questions?
There's a lot of information on that report, 36 items?
7 pages.
35 items, yeah. So, and we will be prioritizing them, but like Rob said, the capital plan is top of the list.
Maybe one thing to note is just that I have been able, at the time I wrote this, I hadn't met yet with Rexton Fire Department or Beersville Harcourt, but now I have. So I met last week with Mark of Beersville Harcourt. I met just the other day with Brent of the Rexton as well as the deputy chief. So very good meetings.
And you've also met with Marley.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, we've met with Marley, with Rexton Fire. I've met. We just talked about that, but we've had meetings on the Lions Club and meetings with the Curling Club. So
Yes,
yeah, touch base several of our stakeholders.
okay, thank you. Oh, Elaine?
Just one question, there's a lot of questions.
Yeah,
On Monterlaw Common, the lease agreement. So I see it's finished, but did they indicate that they didn't want to renew it, or you're just in negotiation?
Well, I believe what is the case is that the existing lease agreement we had expired. Not that there's a real danger or jeopardy in that, but what was happening is that New Brunswick Properties Group was transferring it in the business to the Department of Tourism. So now that doesn't really change our access or use to it. It may change funding, but in the course of communicating with the lady who is still in the property management, I did ask about that field that's next to, that used to be farmland, about whether that would be available for us, whether we could extend the park into that area or some sort of use, because now it's kind of, there's no active use of that land, and it's very good land, and it should be put to some good use. So whether it becomes a farm again, or it becomes land for development of some sort, or more for space for the park. So I have not heard a response on that yet, but that was just last week that I emailed her. So at least finding out about that, and it really, also trying to follow. They have not done the transfer as of last week yet, and those things usually are a little longer window anyway. But we're on the board in terms of notifying our interest in formalizing or renewing the lease agreement, and then seeing if there's a possibility of repurposing that land, which is basically fallow or not in use.
I'm all in favor of reusing the land. So who are we dealing with right now, and then it's gonna be transferred to someone else?
So the land has been owned by New Brunswick Surplus Properties Department.
Mhm.
That's not the actual name, but that's what they do. And they were
That's what's giving us the
for
lease?
what's that?
That's the one who we'll be talking to about the leasing?
We are talking to them now because at this moment they still own the property. And we're also, and then they're transferring to the Department of Tourism and at the province. So, but there wasn't a timing. They didn't say that would happen in 3 months or 6 months or 2 weeks, or they weren't that specific. It's in process, and I think I'm gonna use some conjecture here, but I think just sending her the email probably may have triggered them to evaluate what they want to do, and whether there's an opportunity for us to both renew the lease agreement and maybe repurpose the land. So
Perfect.
and no word on repairs to the house as of yet?
not yet.
Okay, farmhouse.
We sent like our 5-year plan of things that need to be done to the house, and they're on a fiscal year, so their budget ends in March, at the end of March, so
Okay,
they'll be deciding you'll probably hear afterwards.
okay, thank you. Any other questions on the CAO report? Okay, moving on to the community development report. You have that in your package. Any questions or comments on that?
I just would say the mayor noted or asked about the winter carnival that we're planning on the 14th. So there's some details in that report about what's currently scheduled as part of that.
Frosty Fest.
Frosty Fest, yeah.
Do we know if there's any backup plans if we have no snow, no ice? For sledding and skating, if we have no snow, no ice.
We didn't have any last year.
Treasure hunt, eh, Billy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a lot
scavenger
of,
hunt, we can do that again.
Oh, scavenger, yes.
we're working with different organizations, and they're hosting things too, so it'll be outside of there's no hill, there's still things going on.
Yeah, we're having a Clairville Winter Carnival, so that aligns with the dates. So we're planning, the plan, they have another meeting tonight, I was like, oh, I forgot I canceled something.
There's
Um,
llamas. She's having,
Yeah,
um,
llamas?
yeah.
I didn't hear about the
She's
llamas,
booked
that's exciting.
llamas.
We're doing like a
And
fair.
it's family-
Okay, there's, yeah.
There's family days, and we talked about like craft tables and things like that too. So there'll be other things that we can
Yeah.
do.
Well, last year we had no snow, we had no ice, but it was the most beautiful day. Like,
Lovely.
you didn't actually bring your jacket. It was windy, a bit windy, when you see, but besides that,
As long as it's not as cold as it was for the night of the tree lighting, we're all set.
it was freezing.
Oh.
Okay, we also have the Rexton Fire Department report included. Now, if there's any questions or comments on that. Okay, so that covers departmental reports. Now we're going on to new business. And the first item is the election of the deputy mayor. We do that yearly. So I need a motion from the floor to open nominations for the deputy mayor. Katie? The seconder?
What?
Kelly?
It's just a start.
Just a
Just start
motion to
now.
start nominations.
Okay, I open the floor to nominations.
Mike, if I nominate you, would you do it?
I don't think so.
Same
Oh.
response as last year.
Yeah, worth a shot, worth a shot. I'll
Okay,
nominate Karen.
I'll second that.
Okay, Karen. Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Can I have a motion to close the nominations? Elaine, and a seconder,
Seconded.
Mike. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against, nay. Motion carried.
Unanimous, Karen.
Be it resolved that council, in accordance with bylaw 2301, elects councillor Karen Campbell as deputy mayor for a term of 1 year. Can we have a mover for that? Katie, and a seconder. Billy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against, nay. Motion carried. Congratulations, Karen.
Thank you.
Okay, B, I think this was overlooked when we approved our 2-year agreement with the bylaw enforcement officers. So it's just a technicality that we have to make sure all of our ducks are in line. Be it resolved that council, as required under the Local Governance Act, appoints Maritime Enforcement Services to provide bylaw enforcement services for 5 Rivers. Would somebody like to move that? Karen? And a seconder? Katie? Questions or comments?
So that was the 2-year term as of when we started.
Yeah, we started in June.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we've got about 1.5 left.
It's because we had made a motion to accept them, and then we opted out, and then we opted in mid-year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why there was
Yeah. But we
little
didn't do
hokey
the full
pokey.
opt-in though, we had to name them specifically. Yeah. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against, nay. Motion carried. Next is the special meeting for our organizational audit. Pending council's approval, the municipality has scheduled a presentation from Craig Pollitt of Strategic Steps for Tuesday, January the 28th at 6:15. Mr. Pollitt will present his feedback and recommendations to council as documented in their organizational audit report.
So it's 2 weeks from today.
Tuesday.
Be it resolved that council approves the clerk to schedule a special meeting of council on Tuesday, January 28th, 2025 for a presentation to council. Karen?
Oh,
And Elaine? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those against, nay. Motion carried. Next is the purchase of a meeting owl. To improve council, I know, Katie. To improve council meetings, the municipality recommends the purchase of a meeting owl all-in-one video conferencing device. Many municipalities use the owl because it is reliable, user-friendly, and integrates well with conferencing software, Zoom, MS Teams, etc. In terms of functionality, it displays a 360-degree view of the entire room at all times, while also showing current and recent speakers. The cost of the owl device is approximately $1,500. And as you all know, we've had a few issues just with our little device here. We can't always see the people if you're home, we can't see you. You might be able to see us, but it makes it so that we can see everybody and everybody can. And we can also see documents as well.
And I think it can zoom to the person that's talking.
That's what it does. It automatically does,
Yeah.
yes.
We had talked about it when we first.
Yeah.
We talked about it when we first talked about the
Yeah,
setup,
yeah.
but the company that came used that, and I'm not really sure what.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Wonder who's gonna motion this?
So the council approves the CAO to purchase the implement a meeting owl device. Who would like to move that? We have a seconder.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Those in favor signify by saying aye. Those against, nay. Motion carried. Move on to E, the Monterey Avenue curb and sidewalk repair. So the condition of the curbs and sidewalks on Baudrillard Avenue has become a nuisance and hazard for local residents. To address the matter in the short term, the town recommends that the curb be grinded, which costs significantly less than full replacement, which is about $11,000 compared to $60,000 plus for a full replacement of the sidewalk. This can be done in the winter and will largely resolve issues with water and ice pooling. Choosing to grind, the grind option will also give the town time to seek provincial funding for replacement. So as you can see in the photos, like the sidewalk has sunk and it's lower than the curb and the water freezes there and it makes it hard to clear the snow too with the snow blower, yes. Another suggestion had been like to lift the sidewalk, but it also takes a lot of money to lift the sidewalk as well.
Question,
Yes.
who made the marks on the,
We did.
okay, perfect.
On the curves.
I saw that and I thought, DTI is not 2 years ahead of themselves.
Oh no.
The marks are there for the snow plowers, to sort of
Right.
see,
Perfect.
so they can.
See,
Is this the whole length of the sidewalk from Main to the?
Yeah, 0.4
Yeah,
kilometers.
the 11,000 would do the full length, and there is a question, we could end up doing a little less than that. We could elect, I put the full price in it, there are parts of it which may not need to be grinded where they're relatively level, but we'd be able to address the worst of it, so it would likely come in under that figure. But it's, I figured we start with that is the full length, the cost of full length now.
Because it's 0.4 of a kilometer, remember the price?
0.4, yeah, I know.
So was this was it a consultant that you brought, or like what, like
What
who knows the road stuff? I don't even know.
Yeah, we, Josh, our public works manager, got quotes from a couple of firms. So
Okay.
we asked the company about all three options, the grinding, the
Okay.
replacement, and the lifting. And
Yeah.
lifting is really actually only slightly less, it's like in the 40,000 plus range and you can't do it this time of the year,
Yeah.
so. But besides that, so we consulted contractors to do this.
Okay.
And it's done in other towns, it's a common practice in other towns, so.
Oh, totally. I
And it
just
works
figured
good.
it was-
What's that?
The grinding works good, it's my first time here.
Yeah, it's really just like shaving or, grinding it so they're level and there's no, and if you notice in a lot of new suburbs and things, they don't put curbs in that way, they all put curbs that are healthy like that to grind up. So you really get that effect by doing this.
So the only thing is, 2 years down the road, when we have the curb and gutter replaced, the sidewalks are still gonna be lower than the curbs and gutters, so we'll still have to do something then.
So it's
Yes.
like a Band-Aid that buys
Yeah,
us
it's not,
temporary
it's not a
fix.
once and for all time, and you
Yeah.
don't get the same long-term benefit as a full
No.
replacement, but it's about a fifth of the cost, and it addresses a problem here and now that residents have brought to the attention of the town and so forth, so.
And it gives us 2 years,
Yeah.
because DTI is not gonna touch it till 2026.
Right, yeah.
If then.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Kleenex box.
Thank
Sorry, I was just waiting.
you. So does this at all resolve the issues with the, snow blower tearing up the lawns?
It will certainly help with that, because part of the reason is that you're not going on a level surface, so it's not to say you can still have issues even with level sidewalks, depending on who runs it and how it's done and the snow accumulation and so forth, but it should ameliorate or make it better than what we have now.
Will,
Yeah, and I might add, it's not just, I was just gonna say, when we look at this, we also could grind some of the sidewalks too, where they're not
Yeah.
level, so where you have sidewalks that are slightly, you
Yeah.
can grind those, this isn't just the curb that needs to be grinded, you can also grind the sidewalks so they're more level, so that's just as a note, I didn't mention that.
would the issues that citizens have brought forward about their lawns being dug up, will those be addressed in the spring by Public Works or no?
Yes, when I say in saying yes, I'm not committing
Not
to
making
making
a
a
promise,
particular solution for each and every one, but it's I think you'd find a lot of towns, this is a common issue, and that in the spring, and then sometimes towns do selectively or on a case-by-case basis decide to help with, restore if there is damage that's done. It is all likelihood the result of the snow plowing.
Perfect.
So, is this a local contractor within?
I think it's, I think it's a regional, I think there's someone out of Moncton, I believe. So the grinding, you use particular equipment, and there's a particular companies who do this, and I don't think they're local, I think they're from Moncton, if I recall.
So basically what so we put 11 grand-ish
Instead of
For-
60.
for a temporary fix that buys us time to get more fund, to look for more options for funding, to then have a permanent solution, at a later date. If we even wanted to jump in and fix it right now, is that even an option?
Not during winter,
Yeah,
no, you
It
can't
would
do the full
go-
replacement in winter. The grinding you can do right now, but you cannot do either the lifting or the replacement now. So you'd be into the May.
and it's not something we have budgeted for this year anyway. Yeah.
No, that's one of the reasons it's brought to council, is
Yeah.
that it probably wasn't something that was specifically identified in the budget, but.
Like, I mean, the full fix, like,
Oh,
funding,
no,
yeah,
that was
exactly. I just basically mean, like, do we even have an option to go for the full fix right now when it doesn't really seem like that's even.
There is
Well,
gas tax, and we did put money into capital, but it would just depend on
But
where you want to
60
put it, 'cause there's a lot of
Yeah.
areas that.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a pretty good lineup for capital too, so.
Yeah.
Pretty strong, pull for a lot of capital demands.
Yeah, I think Band-Aids aren't fun to just, push it down the road, but it seems like in this instance, we don't have a whole lot of.
Yeah, I wouldn't, at the risk of just saying, I wouldn't construe it too extensively as a Band-Aid, because actually functionally it really will.
Yeah, sure.
It'll smooth them out, level them out, it'll get rid of some of the lawn problems that Councillor has mentioned. It will, de-risk it from the pooling problems and even after winter when the water's there and so forth. So, and it makes it more walkable and safer place. So it does provide a lot of the benefits of full replacement, and you're essentially making more functional space and lengthening the useful life of the asset. So
Sounds like a pretty good fix.
a lot of them use it.
Yeah.
So it's a very common thing. And if you imagine any kind of large town with a lot of sidewalks, it's a way to cost effectively maintain them without full replacement. And that also, full replacement, I might add, comes with a lot of inconvenience because it doesn't happen. So if you replace this, you'd be talking about many days and probably weeks, where on Bourne-Law Avenue, Main Street, you've got working crews and people can't walk and there's obstacles. So this is it's a good time of year to do it, and and, prior to spring.
Just to stick a little bug in people's heads, when we possibly talk about replacing that sidewalk, can we discuss maybe doing it with asphalt and not with concrete
That should be an option for sure. Like there's,
for durability?
and maintainability and other factors too.
So close to the shore and,
So there's a motion. Be it resolved that council approves the municipality hire a contractor to grind the curb and sidewalk on Barnard Avenue. Would we like to move? Karen,
I'll second.
Billy, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against nay. Motion carries. So the next item on our agenda is the community investment application. Rexton Kent North Crime Stoppers has asked for $500 from 5 others to support operations. Now, the president of Crime Stoppers is Arnold Votour, whom you all know is the mayor of Beauregard. He's been the president for a long time. He's also the chair of the Public Safety Committee as well for the Kent Regional Service Commission. I think they do good work. He's asked for $500.
We haven't given them any for a while.
No.
Not since
Is Billy
2020.
Dodge supporting it?
2020.
I'm sure Beauregard is supporting it. Yes. So I'll
It's
read
for all
the
of
motion.
Kent County.
And just
It's for, Kent North it says here.
Okay.
one point of information is just that I believe, and you may have the exact figures, but we've given, I think, approximately $250 the last 2 years.
Yes.
No, 2020 was the last time. We didn't.
In
I don't know when-
2019, we bought a 2x3 sign with their Crime Stopper and their number. It's still up on Main Street. And then in 2020, we donated
Yeah,
250.
288 and
And those are
250.
nothing for 5 years.
No.
Elaine has something to say?
in our application.
Oh.
Yes?
That's correct, sorry.
Elaine had a hand up.
Yeah, Elaine?
Well, I don't recall getting the request, actually, in the last couple of years.
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
No,
So
I
that's
don't
why
think
we
so.
did
They,
it. Not that-
when they
yeah.
requested it, he always came and made a presentation
Yes.
too. About a couple
Well, I'll
of people.
have to tell Arnold that.
Well,
Yeah,
tell
I
us
missed
that we will only
On the,
Give them
can we
a-
put a condition on
Yeah,
the donation?
I'm sure, yes, I could say we wanna,
We wanna
That's
sign
preferably
like to have
an
a
usable
pickleball.
presentation.
Yeah, we need a pickleball.
oh, yes.
No, I think like I'm not super familiar with the things that they
We
do.
do a lot.
Yeah, then
He's
that's-
very
He
active.
did it.
Yes, it's a community service program which helps prevent crime, and so it's for people who want to, who see something happening
See
and
something, say something.
report it anonymously.
So is it?
It's like Crime Stoppers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
okay.
I just meant but what's the benefit to calling that line versus calling like the RCMP non-emergent line or something? I'm just not super familiar. That's all.
Some people
This
don't
one
like to
made
give
money,
their
you make
name.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people
Well,
just
not
don't.
It's
necessarily.
anonymous.
Yeah, and your number doesn't show up at the police station.
Okay.
There are crooks that will use this.
And people, when you report it and, then I get a $2,000 reward, so.
If your information leads
Yeah.
to the arrest.
Right.
Very particular.
Okay. No, I mean if it's something that especially if we haven't given any.
Yeah, because
No,
Crime
it's all
Stoppers involved.
It's an
in
avenue
dog
for
food.
people to report crime.
Yep.
It does work.
It is recognized, yes.
So the proposed motion is, be it resolved that council approves $500 to be donated to the Kent North Crime Stoppers. Would somebody like to move that? Karen, seconder,
I'll second.
Elaine, any other questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against nay.
We spent more on this.
Yeah, motion carried. It's a really good initiative, it is.
Yes.
So G, what, we added to the agenda is our website. So as you know, it crashed
Gotta be here, right?
in November, Natalie? October, November?
Was that?
The website when it crashed.
Yeah, I think that October, November.
Yeah. And it hasn't been the same since.
Yeah.
So
We had issues before that
Right,
too, and it's a new site from 2023, so.
yeah. So Rob has some suggestions.
I'll just take a quick tour through this, not drilling on everyone. I think most in the room are probably familiar with some of the issues with our current website. So, and most recently, we have seen a lot of redirections from our website to gambling sites and other sort of things. There's issues with the way it displays on a cell phone, the crashing we talked about, and it's just not, reliable, accessible, protected, etc. And users have reported spam emails and ads from the website. So there isn't much doubt that the current website really doesn't represent the town well and needs to be changed. So then to what? So what we did is a couple things. Now, just before I get to I will add on page 2 of the report that we printed for you. I was speaking with the mayor about this earlier. There are domains available. You can see there the actual, this was, I think, done up today. FiveRivers.ca, as you see it written there, is available 1,500. FiveRivers.com is available for 170. So we do intend, I think, for sure to get FiveRivers.com just to have the domain. It's not unusual for towns to have a handful of domains to give them the option, but it may well be that it's useful for us to we may migrate for that in the course of, bringing up a new website. And I said, most regrettably, I think FiveRivers.ca was much less money before Christmas, and we didn't pull the trigger, and then somebody purchased it, and now it's for sale at a much higher rate. But as the mayor also said, $1,500, $14 is not
It's not that.
exorbitant, and it's a valuable asset in the end of the day that we probably don't have. So we may want to add a motion to go ahead and secure those two things as assets in addition to the website. Then if we go to what everyone else is using, so what I was familiar, I'll say we had, I think it was ActiveNet was the name of the website we had in Heartland, which was purchased by Catalyst. So I knew nothing of Catalyst before that happened. And then I found out Catalyst is a large provider of internet platform software and services for the company. Many municipalities across North America and Canada use it. Woodstock, New Brunswick happens to use it. I know that was from the neck of the woods I came from. That's just a coincidence. There are several others. It has things like really nice calendaring, really good functionality with notifications and all the other, and it's specifically designed to support municipalities. The other thing is Catalyst, the company, has a suite of software to support municipal operations, everything from financial software. Not recommending or considering any of that now, but just to say that their focus of their business is on supporting municipal operations, and so it's a very solid platform. We looked at that. The cost is about $5,000 to get it. It takes about 3 months to do a full migration. I think Heartland site is just coming online because we signed a contract with them last year to migrate to our ActiveNet. And so for us, it would be that. So we would have to figure out a temporary solution, just your information, to sort of improve what we have now, and we'll work through that. And then after that, there's a subscription cost, yearly basis for it. It is, again, it stays around that 5,000 level for Catalyst. So Emily, our community engagement person, but also someone who's available to do this work, looked at a number of other options. What are other towns using? Vox was one that came to the fore. Vox, solid platform. I don't think if I were rating functionality, Catalyst has a better suite of functionality. Vox is more expensive to set up and start. They charge about $20,000 to get it set up initially. I don't see the value add in that. In fact, I'd say the functionality of Catalyst is better. And then if you go downscale, when you look at software platforms, you've got the ones that ordinary people can use for developing and I think she lists some of them here, but whether it's Squarespace or Wix or the others of that ilk that are lesser. For it's where I built a site, a blog in Squarespace, and I worked in the software industry for a while. Those all offer limited functionality. They're generic. They're for if somebody wants to do a blog or has a small business. They don't have a lot of functionality. It's specifically designed for municipalities. And you end up doing more of the work yourself. And there isn't a lot of value add functionality. If here is, you got to do, you could either build in third-party apps or not login, what's the word, add-ons. You got to go to add-on software to get some of the functionality that we would want, including even something we have today of our website. So ultimately, I don't think we want to be in the business of doing too much handcrafting and regular maintenance of the site. When I say we, I mean the administration and the staff don't want to be in that.
Yeah.
It's better that we have a good, solid platform that we
Yes.
can use that's reliable, accessible, good functionality, etc. And so at the end of the day, that all adds up to, I think the product that would be the best suited for us is in fact Catalyst. Solid choice. I think it would not be any regrets with sort of the performance, and we'll address and resolve all of the issues we've seen with our own website. So if council is to approve that, again, I would be moving forward with an agreement with them next day or so, and then it would be about a 3-month, so you're looking at probably May before you'd see our website replaced, and which would mean that we were discussing today and sort of an extemporaneous basis, but we're going to have to do something in the short term with our site. We've already contacted our webmaster, and we'll find some way of trying to resolve in the short term some of the issues. If that means we have a reduced functionality and content, on our website, so be it. Rather than have the sort of problems we've had with our website, and put those who go to our website through that. So we'll do that. But at the end of the day, I think Catalyst is a really good choice for us.
Out of curiosity, the fiverivers.com, I associate .com with American versus the .ca Canadian. I wouldn't be the only one. Is Five Rivers, the numeric 5 and rivers.ca available? Never mind the hyphen.
I do not know the answer to that question. We can look. And I've said, if it's affordable, I don't think it's a bad idea to capture all of those. Like you get the 5 rivers as well as 5 spelled, etc. We can make a decision on which one ends up being, the one we our go-to or default. Because you can do redirects. If you own them, you just redirect every other variant.
Because I have a .ca, but I own the .com version as well.
Yeah.
But yes.
Because we were, so that would change, it would just make more sense, I believe, where it's 5 rivers, not the number 5 rivers. It would just be clearer if we had that, and I agree 100% with Kelly, .ca to me represents Canada, .com is US.
Right.
Yeah, and of course, if you look, that's how it's.
Yep.
Yeah, in all our logo and everything, it's written out 5 rivers.
Yeah.
So it
So
would
that
make
would
sense
change our
to-
emails and
for
everything.
consistency. It would.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we can keep the existing emails as an alias and redirect that.
Right.
Then our primary emails would become that, and that would be the more normal, expected.
Yeah.
Just makes more sense to me to, I was under the understanding they were not available when we started.
That's what we were told.
The very first, when we got our emails, because it took a while and the reason was couldn't get 5
The domain,
Couldn't get that domain.
I don't remember if you couldn't or if it was just a choice now.
We weren't.
Hanging up, but yeah.
Anyway. I think since that's the legal name of the municipality, that's a domain we should have.
I agree.
It's easier to.
Yep, and then you're not
Number
saying
5 and
the
then
number
dash.
5 and a hyphen and.
Yeah.
So we'll need a motion for the new domain. So we would like to have the fiverivers.ca.
Yes.
Okay,
Ideally. Yeah.
Karen, and seconder, Kelly. And are you suggesting, recommending also, Rob, that we have others?
You want 2 motions?
I would.
Other domains?
Yeah.
I would think. I don't know that on the moment, I would definitely get those two that are on the page there. 5 rivers without a dash with the number. You'd also get, I would think a little about it if it was also 1,500 or 2,000.
Oh, yeah.
I may elect not to do that, or at least we could always bring back that to council. If it's 1,500, we can decide
Yeah.
next meeting. If we lock these down, we could always get them later.
But I think
If
you
it's
can
50
also
million.
lock them down for like just a 1-year term,
You can.
like for the first year, right? So
Yeah.
everybody realizes where we are and who we are. And
Yeah,
after that, we can take a look at the contracts
Yeah.
thereafter.
yeah. And so is there
So
a
5rivers.ca and
5rivers.com
Mhm.
you're gonna wanna get.
FIVERIVERS.com.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then with the 5 without the dash and the number 5 rather.
number
with
5 rivers.
.ca.com. If you want, I can either, if there's a condition of cost on that one, or if you just wanna move forward, if they're along, for example, if they're the same cost as these, we would get them.
Mhm.
You-
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against, nay. Motion carried. And the next motion would be for the CAO to acquire Catalyst for our new website. Karen?
Yep.
Is the motion. And the seconder, Katie. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those against, nay. Motion carried. Okay, that brings us to the financials.
This isn't the final, right? There's still stuff
There's still
coming
things
in
coming in.
January.
Yeah. A lot of things are still coming in.
Any questions or comments on the financials? And again, it's not complete, so, for the end of the year, because we didn't have all of the information. Still receiving, invoices.
One thing that Natalie and Diane and I discussed this afternoon, on the first page, there's a miscellaneous revenue of $1.7 million, which is offset by expenditure of roughly the same magnitude. That is largely attributable to the fact that the big expenditures and revenues for the complex project went through that. That's 90% of that. So the other stuff is minor, but that's where that figure sticks out when you look down the list, but that's what it's for.
Anything else? Alright, and the utility, comparative income statement is there as well. Anybody has any questions? Okay, moving on to number 12, council statements and inquiries. Katie?
I have 2. I
Okay.
have one not so fun and then one more fun, so I'll do them in that order. So I assume most people have heard about there was a less than ideal situation involving animal welfare in our rivers. So I've had several people mention it to me, and I wondered if everyone would agree if we looked into. So obviously it's being investigated by the SPCA and the RCMP, like that's, it's being dealt with by the appropriate authorities. But it did bring to question, like, are there any,
Can you please back it up, because totally off my radar.
4 dogs on someone's porch,
Yeah.
deceased, left there for
2 weeks.
weeks.
Like someone killed them?
Was
left
on-
them there?
They don't know
Allegedly.
They don't know.
Hmm?
They don't know what happened to them yet.
Yeah.
But it
the guy
was
said
on the
they
news
got
last
hit,
night.
But there was
Yeah.
still marks on them.
Okay.
It's in-
So, but it does bring up, so basically what I wondered is if we would look into what kind of animal welfare bylaws other municipalities already have, or if there are any that either the SPCA or the Kent County Animal Rescue, if they have any that, that would help them. Obviously, the proper venue is to contact, the rescuer, to contact the RCMP if applicable. But yeah, basically to see if there's anything that the municipality can do in ways of bylaws. Since we have the bylaw officer, it gives people another avenue of reporting, especially if, the SPCA can be super busy, and, will be located far, so it could be tougher to get someone to come do a check and stuff. So yeah, if everyone's okay with that, I'll look into it myself as well, and if I can try to move things around and come to the next bylaw committee meeting, but anyway, that was it for the
Bylaws for animal welfare.
Yeah, just to look into if there's stuff that other municipalities already have in place. And I want to be clear that I don't necessarily think that we need to go the way of like a bigger city that, if you have a dog, you have to have a registered and,
I
necessarily.
think we already have that.
We do.
Sorry. Yeah. No, but like, I just mean, if you live in a rural area, like that's, I'm not trying to say that we need to go into the like, blah, 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 but, maybe if, like as a random off the top of my head, and maybe, but like.
If there's a way to prevent this.
Yeah, or if there's ways, like if someone.
See something, say something.
Absolutely. Or like,
Get the word.
let's say someone is found,
Okay.
to be neglectful by the SPCA, well then maybe that means that our bylaw officer will perform random checks.
Welfare check.
Yeah, but for, let's say for the year, let's say a person has been found neglectful, case of animal neglect.
Yeah.
Well then for the next calendar year, our bylaw officers will make random checks.
I think animal cruelty is actually
It's a criminal.
It's a criminal. Totally.
Yeah,
That's why
nothing to do
they're
with
both.
bylaw.
That's why
a criminal
they're both.
offense.
That's
Yeah.
why they're both
If
investigating.
They
it.
are, and they are investigating, and it's really like I don't think it's
The
for us to
RCMP
interject.
can't do anything until the SPCA
Yeah.
finishes their investigation.
100%.
Have
So
to
whether
find
it's
out-
criminal, whether it's just neglect, or whether they say they can't do anything, I have no idea. But basically, it's just saying if there's anything we can do.
Yeah.
have to find out if the bylaw enforcement officers have been authorized to do, because it's the SPCA, like it's one of those.
Yeah.
Just have to
But-
double check.
But like Katie said, if we have somebody that's randomly checking on in, especially puppy mills is another thing that this would,
Making sure that anyone that is breeding animals has the proper. They're supposed to have a registration number.
Yeah.
There's all that. Yeah. So anyway, just if there's anything that we can do that is an easy like let's add on this bylaw that other people use and works well or whatever.
You say they were there for 2 weeks,
At least.
so that sort of is one indication. It tells you that there's no patrols taking place unless it's
No.
vehicle.
no.
But if you're driving down the 116.
Yeah, it was on the 116. So at least
It's,
You're-
yeah,
you're going.
it's
yeah.
Rodney Warman's parents' old place.
I know what it is. Hard to see because we
Yeah.
were on a deck and there
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
So
a
yeah,
rail.
visible from the road.
Trees.
A rail
Very
from-
difficult to
and trees
see.
too.
And you're not doing 20 down that road.
Yeah.
They're not like frozen to death, were they?
Yeah.
They were.
Oh, well, the
No.
cause of
Like,
death was
we don't-
not.
no, they don't.
Sure.
The cause of death was not yet.
Oh.
Yeah, but doesn't
They
look
were,
good.
they were.
They showed
They were,
pictures.
yeah. But so anyway, that's something I thought we should look into is make sure that if there's anything we can do, we should.
And if we're paying the service, well, let's
Yeah,
get the
well,
most of it.
exactly right. If there are people that are on the radar of whether it's the SPCA or whatever, then as if with anything else. So the fun one I had half mentioned once before, but it was a half-baked idea, and I just saw a video, but it reminded me. But well, you know what I mean. There are municipalities that will take kids, like they'll get like holiday drawings from kids at the elementary school, and they'll make like the lights that go up on the hydro poles there for Christmas and stuff.
It's really cute.
It's really cute. So it would be almost like a contest, right? And then every year you pick 1 or 2 drawings that the kiddos did in the elementary school, and then that's the design you put up as a pole. So over the years we'll have more and more, and they're drawn by the kids.
And then
It's
there,
really cute.
it's like a LED neon sign. Katie
Yeah.
sent me a reel of it.
Yeah, I'll send it.
And it, like a kid designs a snowman, okay? And of course, we know it's not perfect. but they then create that light to put up on the side of a post for holidays, but it's cute.
Like one was a gingerbread man, and that's what he looks like.
Yeah.
It was really
It
cute.
is really cute.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, it'd be like, oh, like this was like little Jimmy Wilson drew this one, you know, whatever. Anyways, so I think they just use those tube LED lights and then they wireform them.
Yeah.
So that's something we could look into seeing if, like, you know, if Warman's could you know, put them on as per the design order. Anyway, that's something, because especially because we were looking into getting more lights for this year,
Yeah.
and this would be, you know, all you need is the blank, you know, frame thing that holds them on, and then we would see who we could get to like make the design. Basically, yeah, that's all it is. But we would have to decide ahead of time to be able to get the schools to submit.
Contribute. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it's really cute.
It was cute.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Statements or inquiries?
Good ones.
I forget. I guess I should have wrote it down.
That's why I borrowed Lee's pen. I was like, cool.
Good one, good.
Okay.
So see you in 2 weeks.
Yes. So can I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Billy, Karen, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Holy
All
smokes.
against nay. Motion carried. It is 7:06.